The Boeing 767 aircraft first flew in 1982 and was designed specifically to be fuel efficient. At the time, the 767 was seen as a cost saver because it promised operating cost savings of 20 to 30%. However, this is no longer the case for Boeing 767 aircraft. It's thought to have caused more problems than it solves. Keep watching the video to find out how and why. Hey guys, welcome to another exciting video from Aviation News. Today in this video, we'll be sharing why Boeing 767 has caused a major headache for the airlines, Boeing 767's ascension and demise, and the reason behind it, and much more. So make sure to stay tuned until the end to find out. Also, if you're new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press that bell icon to never miss any updates or videos from us. That said, let's take a closer look. Boeing 767 has been a significant airplane. It opened up international routes to twin-engine aircraft in the early 1980s, which was a significant advance at the time. While the 777 is not the best-selling widebody, it does have a larger fan base than the Boeing 767 and has a long history, having gone through various variations. Although more fuel-efficient aircraft have replaced it, it's still in production and is popular for cargo and logistics. Originally known as the 7X7, this project focused on developing a twin-aisle short takeoff and landing aircraft with a shorter range and 2 or 3 engines. However, airlines were not enthusiastic about this proposal. In 1976, Boeing upgraded to a wide-body twinjet with a longer transcontinental range. Airbus and the A300 are most likely to blame for this. The new European manufacturer debuted its first plane in 1972, with Air France taking delivery in 1974. Boeing had to compete in the same market, as this was the first twin-engine wide-body. United Airlines placed a 30-plane order for the 767 in 1978, formally kicking off the project. American Airlines and Delta Airlines soon followed with orders. The Boeing facility in Everett was expanded to accommodate increased production. The 757 was designed and built shortly after the 767, and as a result, the two projects had a lot in common. For the two aircraft, much of the interior design, cockpit, and avionics were comparable, which assisted carriers with commonality. The 757 had the same wing design as the 747, but it was smaller. Airbus followed suit and went much further with the A330 and A340. The 757 and 767 were both built with fuel economy in mind. This may seem self-evident now, with increased efficiency being a major incentive in contemporary aircraft design. However, it distinguished the new twins for the competitors at the time. Prior to this, capacity and jet performance were the more essential factors to consider. The 767 was designed to save between 20 and 30% in operating costs compared to prior aircraft. The first 767 entered service with United Airlines in September 1982 after a 10-month test program with 6 aircraft. The 767 had 3 different variations when it was first planned. Before construction, the smaller 767-100 was rejected in favor of the 757, which had a similar capacity. A 3-engine variant known as the 767-MR-LR was rejected in favor of twin-engine performance. As a result, the 767-200 was the solo type available at launch. In the cockpit of some early 767-200s, there was another peculiarity. Boeing's first wide-body designs featuring a 2-person cockpit were the 757 and 767. The Airbus A300 had a 3-person cockpit as the first wide-body twin. Airlines were concerned since crews were accustomed to working in groups of 3 or more. United Airlines had requested a 3-person cockpit version of the 767, but had to settle for 2 after it was declared safe in the United States. Ansett Australia, on the other hand, stayed firm in its demand for 3-person cockpits, owing to pilot union demands, and was the only airline to acquire early 767s with this configuration. The 767 was limited to operating no more than 90 minutes from a diversion airport when it was first introduced. This made it impossible for twins to operate commercial lines across the Atlantic and of course abroad. Since the mid-1980s, ETOPS laws have modified this. In 1985, the 767-200 received the first ETOPS 120 rating. TWA was the first to do so, flying from Boston to Paris, but others soon followed. Aircraft could fly up to 2 hours from a suitable diversion airfield under ETOPS 120. This allowed the 767 to fly transatlantic routes, paving the way for new opportunities for twins. After at least 1 year of demonstrating performance under ETOPS 120, ETOPS 180 was attainable. In 1989, the Boeing 767 became the first airplane to be authorized for this. The 767 is still in production today in both passenger and freight configurations, after going through various variations. The original 767-200 was modified with the 767-200ER extended range variant within its first year of service. The fuselage remained the same, but the cargo and fuel capacity were increased. Its range was enhanced from the 767-200's 3,900 nautical miles to 6,385 nautical miles. The Boeing 767-300ER, which entered service with American Airlines in 1988, was another option. Extended ETOPS had been implemented, and the stretched 767-300 was a hit with both domestic and international airlines, becoming the most popular type. The 767-300 served as the foundation for the type's first cargo derivative, which began service in 1995 with UPS. A cargo access door was installed on the 767-300F, as well as improved landing gear and wing construction. Following passenger service, many aircraft have been converted to freight duty. The penultimate 767 type was the 767-400ER, which was a step up from the 767-300ER. This was largely in response to Delta Airlines' need for a replacement for its Lockheed L011 TriStar planes. Continental Airlines was also interested in the plane as a replacement for its DC-10s, and in September 2000, it became the first customer. The 767-400ER expanded passenger capacity to 296 passengers in a standard two-class configuration with a maximum exit limit of 375. The range was slightly lower than the 200ER and 300ER, although this was to be expected given the increased capacity. Boeing has delivered 1,215 767 airplanes in total, according to Boeing records. It's still in production with 93 orders for freighters 767-300F and tankers 767-2C still outstanding. Boeing has delivered the following aircraft based on the major variants: 767-200, 128 aircraft, 121 767-200ER airplanes, 583 767-300ER aircraft, 104 767-300 aircraft, 767-300F, 195 aircraft, 38 767-400ER aircraft. 697 of these are still operational as of July 2021. The cargo airlines are the largest, with FedEx Express flying 104 planes and UPS Airlines flying 78. Cargo aircraft continue to be popular, as evidenced by these new orders as well as secondhand sales and conversions. For example, Amazon has acquired multiple 767s from Delta and WestJet, with 69 767s, 48 767-300ER, and 21 767-400ER aircraft. Delta Airlines remains the largest passenger carrier. United Airlines with 54 planes is close second, 38 767-300ER and 16 767-400ER. Because of a pandemic-induced need for simplification, American Airlines will retire its fleet in 2020. There were proposals to expand the 767 after the launch of the 767-400ER in 2000. Boeing had previously proposed a larger 767X aircraft with a wider fuselage, as well as ideas for a 767-400ERX with an even longer range. However, the aviation business did not fare well in the early 2000s, and plans for this were shelved in 2001. Instead, Boeing focused on the 787, a new, more fuel-efficient replacement plane. The Boeing 787 was born from this. Any designs for a larger 767X were included in the 777 program. The 787 promised a substantially lower-cost operation thanks to its more efficient engines and composite fuselage structure. With a capacity comparable to that of the 767, it's no wonder that some airlines have chosen the 787 to replace older 767s. While the 777 and 787 have taken over as passenger aircraft, the 767 has remained a popular freight aircraft. It is still widely used as an air-to-air refueling tanker. Boeing still has 93 orders to fulfill, all of which are freighters or tankers. One improvement that could help the 767 stay in production for longer is the addition of new technology and engines. This is not an insurmountable task. Since the 1970s, the 737 has gone through a number of iterations. It's still going strong with the 737 MAX. The 777 is still going strong, with the much-anticipated 777X on the way. There has been a lot of talk regarding Boeing's upcoming mid-sized aircraft. Since roughly 2015, Boeing has been planning a new mid-sized aircraft, the NMA. As a replacement for the 757, but a wide-body like the 767, this was thought to be a clean sheet proposal. It would have a capacity of 220, with a lengthened variant possibly reaching 267. However, the NMA was repealed in 2020. This occurred as a result of ongoing 737 MAX program delays and associated costs for Boeing. The Airbus A321XLR was also involved. With this confirmed by Airbus and the new long-range wide-body taking direct orders from many airlines already, Boeing wanted to revisit its plans for the next aircraft. Nothing regarding what will happen next has been confirmed as yet. Given the existing market and the necessity to introduce anything quickly to compete with Airbus, a new clean-sheet mid-sized aircraft appears implausible. Existing aircraft such as the 737, 757, 767, and even the 787 might be updated. Each has its own set of difficulties, and while an updated 767 is unlikely, it's doable. The 767 program is far from over, with around 100 orders still pending. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Aviation News, for more such exciting content. See you in the next video.